maybe we could hop on 2K19 sometime
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
because you still got to get schooled.
Listen, I'm not gonna say anything until we play.
What is going on, world? Welcome to Bartley and Barnes. We are back 3 weeks later. The world is going crazy and insane, but this show is not stopping. This is the Bartley and Barnes show. I guess you can call it the Bartley and Barnes Variety Hour if you wanted to, because we talk about so many different things, but that's okay because we don't just love movies. We love a ton of different things in life.
Kind of stuff,
so, yeah, all kinds of stuff. But yes, Jacob Bartley, Keith Barnes, your hosts. We are back. How's it going, Keith, considering everything going on?
It's all right, man. This is our first show without Brian in the room.
I know, right? Wow, our first show without Brian. We should just get him in on, because you could have someone in here as like an audience member. We should just have him here. It'll feel right, because this doesn't feel right.
We'll get Brian on the stream and just have him just lay on his couch,
Exactly. Then it'll feel normal. Yeah. So we are going to be recording telecommuting as of now, just like most people are, but that's okay. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of convenient, to be honest. I wouldn't mind doing it even after we go back to normal life, only when we need
if we had to. Yeah, it works.
It's definitely better in person, just for the quality of like our conversation and the quality of the cameras and the audio and everything,
Yeah, actually in the same room. And the camaraderie, of course, we
absolutely. That's always my first choice, but at least we know this is an option for future if it's hard to meet one day. Or we were recording late at night because to be honest with you, it was getting tough doing like 3 podcasts and then Bartley and Barnes.
I know. I was thinking about that too, like because I get off. You guys do that. I get off work later than everyone else. So, I was gonna bring that up as maybe we should pick another night just to.
Yeah, I was open to that, and we totally can, because the thing is, I can do Apocalypse Now and then another smaller show, but then to go to Bartley and Barnes after that, I want to be mentally fresh.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of especially when it's different when you're like just like a commentator on the show, or if you're the host, like you want to be fresh and bring your best, so definitely. So for now, until things change, we will be doing this virtually, which is pretty cool. Not bad. This is the best we can make of the circumstances. For sure. We're using StreamYard, which shout out to StreamYard, because I didn't even know this thing existed. And
me either.
For what it is great.
A lot of people are doing it apparently too. There's a lot of the bigger shops are using it.
The thing about it is okay. So before we started using this, I was going to use OBS and then Skype you in.
Right.
The thing with that is it's basically like I'm live streaming, or I'm streaming from my place, and then I'm Skyping you in.
Gotcha.
So it's as if they're watching you as if I'm Skyping with you, and they're watching me as if I'm live streaming from my house. Right. So my quality is always going to be better. With this, we're both live streaming from our house. We're both
on the stream, yeah.
Exactly. So it works a lot better that way.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, now that you guys know what the plan is for the time being, and honestly, man, I watch the news every day, and just because I want to be as informed as possible. Not the news. I watch the news conferences of the, with the presidency and the doctors and all that stuff, because I want to know what's going on. I want to be informed. And to be honest with you, I didn't do that before. I didn't used to pay as much attention to what's going on in the world until now. And I'm glad I do, because a lot of time, everything going on with the unemployment and the businesses and all the bills and the relief packages, like I find a lot of people don't really know what's going on, and I'm able to inform them, because there's a lot of like fake or exaggerated articles out there.
There is. There is.
So what's coming straight from the government, and what dislike or dislike what they're doing, it's the actual facts, like of what they're doing.
Well, we hope it is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is, it's like it's what they say is going to happen.
Yes.
So, but anything else you might read might be incorrect, at least based on what they're saying. So It's actually really been informative. But enough of the negative stuff. Let's move on to some fun stuff. We're going to talk about Onward today, the Pixar movie that has released on Disney Plus. We both got a chance to watch it. We're going to do a full spoiler discussion. We are going to talk about the recent NBA Hall of Fame, not NBA, but Basketball Hall of Fame inductees there, and because got some big hitters in this year. And we're also going to do our usual homework assignments and turn the page. So let's jump into the warm-up, our sports segment of the show. And this is definitely going to open up some old wounds, but it's something we got to talk about, and that is the most recent Basketball Hall of Fame inductees, and that is Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Tamika Catchings, and Kobe Bryant, of course. Well, first of all, Tamika Catchings, I don't know much about her. I know she was a she was a WNBA player, right? Or no?
Yes. Great one. Played, I think, her whole career with the Indiana team. I think they're called the Fever.
Oh, okay.
And
I always knew her name, but
Well, yeah, she's I can't remember where she went to school. I think maybe I want to say Stanford. I'm not 100%, but I looked that up. But yeah, her and her sister. She has a twin sister. I think her name's Teresa.
Oh yeah, I do remember hearing that. Yeah,
they were both very good. She was the better one of the two, but they were both very good. She's actually thing people may not know, but she's actually deaf. She's one of those athletes that's deaf. She's actually deaf, legally deaf.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she can still hear a little bit.
She can hear a little. It's tough for her. She hears less than most.
I'm wondering if she can hear the whistles and stuff.
I've heard her talk about that before. She says I think I heard her say it just sounds kind of like if you take right now, just cover your ear. That's kind of how it sounds. Like you can't.
Oh, okay.
Everything.
Yeah, no, I actually took 2 semesters of ASL, so I'm a little bit familiar with.
Right.
And one of my instructors was not completely deaf. He was he can hear really loud noises and things like that.
Yeah.
But he couldn't hear people talking in the back of the classroom, obviously. But
right.
That's fascinating to me. Well, congratulations to her. I don't know much about her career, but congratulations. That's an
awesome.
Amazing feat to make it into the Basketball Hall of Fame. And she's among these names that were these other NBA players that we're going to talk about. And man, what a class, dude. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and Kobe Bryant. And Kobe Bryant's is a little early, but they obviously with his passing, they decided to put him in anyway. So
was it earlier? I think this was going to be the year, wasn't it?
No,
5 years.
They said that that they were going to add him in early, based on what happened. I mean, actually, I'm not sure, but
I think he was getting close anyway. But
they announced that he was going to be inducted after his death. So maybe
that's what
they were going to do it anyway.
I think no, because they all retired together.
Yeah, so
I think it was the 5-year mark. It's 5 years.
Yeah, so that might be it. But I just remember that they announced it after his death. I thought they were speeding up the process because of it.
Yeah, I don't think they voted. I think they just inducted him right away.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's what it was. There was no vote. It was just an induction
because he was going to. It would have been automatic anyway.
No question about it.
It would have been unanimous. Yeah.
And people who have been watching our show, they know we talked about Kobe. We love Kobe, and obvious choice. Congratulations to him. I'm so sad he's not here to be inducted. But even if he was, he wouldn't even be able to do a ceremony or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's funny? Maybe like that's the book we were talking about. Every couple of days or so, I wonder how would Kobe be dealing with all this craziness going on.
Yeah, no, I think about that myself.
I was like, wow, like this.
Well,
like he didn't get to experience this. This is the most insane thing I've experienced in my lifetime. And there's been, I don't know if there's been worse things that happen in history. Maybe not, but I'm just curious how Kobe is dealing with it. or how he would deal with it.
How he would be. Well, the whole thing. He's one of those people. Look, he's very rich. Very, it's one of those things where being in your house would be fine for him, but he wasn't the type to just sit at home and do nothing. He was a guy. He had a lot of stuff. Had a lot of stuff going on with his production company. With his
he would do something.
Academy.
He would. So, I'm sure he would be like doing something from his home, whether it's like workout or something, or just speaking to people from his home, doing podcasts or something like that. I know he would. And I guarantee you, he would have donated money to the to the United States, anywhere. He would have done so much to help the situation in general, and hopefully his family is gonna, they have the means to help too. So hopefully they do in his honor. Duncan and Garnett, though, man, these players, these are icons, man. They
absolutely
look. To us, even to me, well, you were older than me watching them play, but to me, they're modern in my mind too, and they are going to be. It's hard to think of modern players in the same breath as like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and all these iconic names, Bill Russell, but they're in that class. They are in that class.
Those two guys are literally the two for me. For a long time, it was always Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, whoever. They talk about the best power forwards. These are the two best power forwards in history of all time, my opinion.
Yeah, and
I remember when Tim Duncan was a freshman at Wake Forest.
Really?
And he could have been. Look, he could have been the number one pick then.
He played all 4 years, right?
He played all 4 years. He would have been the number one pick any one of those years he came out. He's part of the same freshman class because I grew up in Virginia in ACC territory, and so he was part of the same class with like Rasheed Wallace and Jerry Stackhouse, and I think Joe Smith was in that class. A freshman coming in college, and ACC was awesome back then. It was really good, but I remember he was just this super skinny, wiry dude playing with Mark Ellis talks about it all the time, Randolph Childress and Rodney Rodgers and all those players, but they had a guard named Tony Rutland who played at Hampton in high school with Allen Iverson at Wake Forest. They had some good teams, man, but I remember I watched. He's one of those guys. That's how I know how old I'm getting. I watched his entire whole 4-year basketball career and then his entire NBA career, and now he's going to the Hall of Fame. It's crazy to see, but he's one of those dudes, man. He had one of the greatest careers ever. I mean,
and just honestly, just like Kobe Bryant, we talked about this. I didn't remember a time where Kobe Bryant wasn't a thing in my life, and same with these two guys. They were there when I was a kid and was aware of basketball and what a superstar was. They were in the NBA. And they were young, but they were already superstars. I mean, Duncan, his rookie year, they won the NBA championship. And
it was his second year.
What, are you sure? No, they won his rookie year.
No, he's a rookie. Sure. He was a rookie the year that
the Admiral.
The year it was 90. He was drafted in 97, 98. The Bulls won. I think he won the next year.
Are you sure?
Because it was the lockout shortened season where they only played 50 games. And the NBA was locked out. And they came back late in like that February or something like that. And they only played 50 games. And they beat the Knicks in the finals that year. And it was pretty sure it was his second year.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I thought it was his rookie year, but maybe you're right. Because, what was his rookie year? 97, 98?
Yeah.
Okay, then they won in 99. But still, I mean, regardless, he's a sophomore. Because the Admiral was on his team when they won. Still, right?
Yeah.
So, either way. And I'll tell you something right now, man. Look, I'm a diehard Lakers fan, and Kobe Bryant is my favorite basketball player of all time. But I'll tell you right now, and I've been saying this for a long time, the conversation of best player of all time to me is between Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Tim Duncan. That's my opinion.
I wouldn't argue with that.
Tim Duncan is obviously beloved and regarded as one of the best players of all time, but he's not mentioned in the greatest of all time. Look at his career.
I know.
He won 5 championships.
You know why? And I argue. I got a friend of mine from high school that I argue with him about Tim Duncan all the time on Facebook because he's boring. Because he's one of those guys. He didn't draw attention to himself.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous. That's no excuse.
All the great players, they all love and respect Tim Duncan. They respect the crap out of Tim Duncan because they know he was a killer out there. Like he was one of those dudes that he's so quiet and reserved, but you would just be watching the game. Like I'll be watching him like against the Kings or whatever, and you wouldn't see him. He's not demonstrative or anything. He's not like overly showy or emotional and stuff. You would just look up at the end of the game and he's got 39 points and 22 rebounds and 8 blocks. And you're like, geez, it didn't seem like it's the quietest domination you ever seen.
I love Tim Duncan so much, man. He is, and I'm telling you, like,
he's a killer, man.
A lot of people are biased. They want to say the player from their team is the best player of all time, and I've been saying LeBron is the best player of all time when he was on the Cavs. I've been saying, I go back and forth. It's hard because I jump back and forth. It's like for a while I was so sure LeBron's the best of all time, and then I went back to Jordan, and it's just you can't go wrong either way. But I honestly think Tim Duncan is in the conversation, and any given day I could be like, you know what? I think Tim Duncan is the best player of all time, and the way he is, his personality, it makes me like him even more.
Me too, man. I'm the exact same way. I think it's great. Everybody can't be like the next guy. We're going to talk about Kevin Garnett, but who is the most? He's got all his emotions on his sleeve out there.
And the bottom line is, okay, you can take best players from eras, and okay, there's a lot of great players who never won rings, or maybe they won one championship, like a Dirk Nowitzki, right? But he's still an all-time great.
Yeah.
But if it really comes down to rings, Tim Duncan has 5. So
right, exactly.
So what are we talking about? Yeah.
I mean, he's got like 4 MVPs or something like that, or whatever. Like
and I think and 4 Finals MVPs. I believe.
And
then Kawhi Leonard won it the year that. And you know what's funny is
Tony Parker won one. Kawhi
you're right. You know, Tony Parker did win one. So I think Tim Duncan has 3.
Yeah, I think it's 3.
The funny thing is, when Kawhi Leonard first started on the Spurs, when he was a rookie and a sophomore, I loved Kawhi Leonard. I used to use him on NBA 2K. I was like, this dude, he was rated like an 82 on NBA 2K. And I was like, this dude is so good. I used to draft him on my teams and use him. And then he has that finals performance and he wins NBA Finals MVP. And I was like, and the way he is, because he's very quiet and reserved too, right?
Another guy.
And I was like, quiet. He's the next Tim Duncan.
Right.
But then I don't necessarily love the way he's been acting since the whole here's the thing, we don't know what's real or not, but since the whole like sitting out because he's injured, and then letting his uncle make all these decisions, and then kind of basically forcing a trade in a way, and
it's tough to get behind him.
I don't like the way he's been acting recently, but before that I was like, how perfect. The Spurs have another Tim Duncan like guy taking over the franchise. And I was like, how perfect. But then whatever. I still respect Kawhi. He's a fantastic player, obviously. But yes, Kevin Garnett. So funny thing about NBA 2K. Right now I'm in a league with Gio. Gio from Apocalypse Movies. And we got to get him on as a guest sometime on Bartley and Barnes, especially with this on StreamYard. It would be perfect. So we'll get him on. We got to find a topic that we could talk about with Gio, maybe a DC topic, but yes. But anyways, I'm in a league with Gio right now, and I have Duncan and Garnett. So we use the all-time legend players on our team, in our league, and we do a draft. And I didn't draft them too, but I signed Duncan in free agency. And then I traded like 2 superstars and a like rated 80 player to get Kevin Garnett. So like I depleted my he's 29.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, all right. And Duncan's like 26.
Oh my god.
So I have them as my power forward and center. So yeah, it's hard in the paint for a lot of teams against me. But yes, Kevin Garnett, man, another player I heavily respect. He's not one of my favorites of all time, and I don't think he's in the conversation of maybe not even top 10 of all time. Maybe. It just depends who you are.
Oh, no, but
but he's still one of the best of all time, no question about it.
I would say top 20 for sure.
Yeah, he's in that conversation.
Easily, just because there's so many great ones ahead. But he's up on that list though. He's there as well.
And I obviously have a little hate for him because he was on the Celtics for so long and beat the Lakers in the finals, and then we beat him. So we beat them.
And that was the last part of his career. I don't see. I look at him as a Minnesota dude because he was
no, definitely. He's a Timberwolf first and foremost.
Yeah,
absolutely. But when I was like 17 when we were playing them in the finals and we lost.
There you go. So yeah,
so this was like my prime fandom of a basketball fan, and and I hated that whole team. Young Rondo and Paul Pierce and Kendrick Perkins.
That was really weird. That was a weird moment, just having him leaving Minnesota, but to go there.
I mean, he won a title,
and he won. I don't like Boston. I don't like any Boston team either. But I was glad for him because he just for so long in Minnesota. Had 1 year where they got kind of close. They went to the conference finals against the Lakers, but he had like 6 or 7 years in a row where he kept losing in the first round. A lot of it to the Spurs. I think once or twice to the Kings even. He just couldn't get over that hump. So I was happy to see him actually finally win a title. He's the guy we talked about him when we talked about Kobe. He was the guy that first made that jump, the year before.
Oh yeah.
And I remember there was a preseason game, just really quick. They were playing the Lakers, as a matter of fact. Minnesota was playing the Lakers. The Lakers had a guy named Cedric Ceballos, and he had he got isolated on Garnett, and he took him off the dribble and dunked on him with his left hand, and he was yelling at the camera, "He's not ready! He's not ready!" You can see it. You could probably find that on YouTube somewhere. You can see him mouthing the words, "He's not ready." And Garnett was the first guy in 20 years to go from high school to the NBA, and first in the modern era. So it was a lot of eyes were on him, and so when that happened, it was a preseason game, So we're like, man, yeah, maybe he's not. But I think like halfway through his rookie year, he had a game. I think they played because he spent his senior year in high school in Chicago, so they were playing the Bulls, and they put him in the starting lineup, and he had this monster game. I think he had like 33 points and 20 rebounds or whatever like that, and that was a huge deal. People were like, "Oh, this high school kid came in the NBA and he was dominating against Jordan and the Bulls and had that monster game." And really, from then on, once they put him in a starting lineup, he was. I mean, you just watched him grow into what he became. It was fun to watch. And then when they picked up Stephon Marbury, it was over, man. Those two guys. I don't know if you remember him, but
oh yeah,
they were. They were going to people calling him like the next Stockton and Malone, and they would have been that, but Marbury kind of he did what a lot of players do.
Did they? Is that the team that went to the conference finals?
No, that was a few years later when they finally got him some players, and they picked up. I think they traded for Latrell Sprewell, and they signed Sam Cassell, and they added a couple other guys, a couple of strong veterans to go around him, and they had a really good team. Flip Saunders was coaching, and that team the Lakers were just better. It was the year that the Lakers had Karl Malone and
Gary Payton. My goodness!
I know
we lost to the Pistons.
Lost to the Pistons, yeah.
I mean, whatever. They still made it to the finals, but
yeah,
I don't know.
That was a weird team.
I hate when they throw just a bunch of stars together and then just throw them all together and this should work. And the same thing happened when they put Steve Nash and Dwight Howard on the Lakers with Pau Gasol and Kobe. It didn't work.
Didn't fit. Wasn't a good fit. And Mike D'Antoni was a coach, and his system didn't fit. I was just talking to Kevin about that last night. That team was crazy. Yeah, Steve Nash, Dwight Howard, and there was somebody else that they had. But yeah, that was a weird.
I mean, on paper it looks great, and if they were all in their prime, sure. But Steve Nash was 40.
Nash was done. Yeah, he was 40 years old.
And
he was done.
I don't know how Dwight just one of the biggest downfalls ever as far as a superstar. He was arguably top 2 player in the league. Some maybe even would have said the best in the league at the year they played the Lakers in the finals, and then he just plummeted. It was crazy. But yes, man, congratulations to all of these players, to Kobe, Duncan, Garnett, and Tamika Catchings. That they all deserve it, and they're all worthy.
And Coach Rudy Tomjanovich, man, I couldn't believe he wasn't already in there. But yeah, shout out to him. He won 2 titles with the Rockets, and
Hey, so you still play 2K on PS4, right?
Yes.
So my brother has a PS4 here, so maybe we need to hop on. What year do you have? What's the latest year you have?
Got 19.
19. I actually have I think we have 19 on PS4. So we gotta hop on sometime, man. Hey, whatever. Maybe you can find 2K20 on sale or something, and we can get it and play. That'd be fun.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, well, let's move on to our main topic of today, and that is the Onward spoiler discussion. I don't think this spoiler discussion is going to go on as long as, let's say, like, not even as long as our Invisible Man spoiler review, but let's get into it, man. I do like being able to talk spoilers on our show.
Yes.
Because we don't do it a lot over at Apocalypse. But yes, man, Onward. So real quick, I just want to know what your expectations for this movie were.
I didn't know because I mean, it's Pixar, so you figure, okay, it should at least be good. I don't know. I don't think they've had anything bad. Even the dinosaur one, I didn't watch all of it, but
it's not bad. It's okay. It's a good movie, but I think the only thing bad is maybe Cars 2.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's true.
Yeah, Cars 2 is pretty awful.
Yeah, I actually kind of dislike. Yeah, I don't like that movie at all. Yeah, so you're right. Yeah, that's the one bad one.
But I do think that is that's an anomaly because I forget the name of the guy who was in charge of Pixar. Like, him and his wife loved Cars or whatever, so they made that franchise. He made that franchise for his wife.
Yeah.
Or something. And the first Cars is really good.
It's great. I love Cars.
The first Cars is really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cars 2, I would say, is the only bad Pixar movie.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think Cars 3 is okay. A lot of people kind of. I didn't mind Cars 3 at all. I thought it was all right. Just not as good as. It's better than Cars 2, like you said, which is not a low bar, but but anyway, but yeah, at least most of their movies. So what's their percentage? So let's say it got to be 98%.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. So this one, I don't know.
So you kind of expect them to be good, at least.
To be at least good, yeah. Obviously, Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is great at voicing stuff, man. He
really is.
He's so good. We love him in the Lego movies. And
that's true. Yeah.
That's all I kept thinking when I was watching this. It sounds like it's slightly different, but it's like he sounds just like him.
I kept thinking of him from Parks and Rec when I was watching this.
Yeah, that's true too. But he's great. I love him in this, and it was very definitely different. I love to see a different thing from them, and just this world. I was just curious to see what this was going to be. It's a magical world, but kind of not really. It used to be, but then it kind of just, for some reason, it's turned into our regular world here, except everybody's an elf or
still magic existed in their real time.
Yeah. I was curious to see what that. I was happy to see something different, So I was looking forward to that, but I enjoyed it, man. I thought it was,
Yeah, I was looking forward to it because I love that. I love wizards and dragons and all those type of things. I think it's still an untapped genre in movies.
What was the Will Smith one where
the one with Joel Edgerton.
Yeah, there were cops. It's like ogres and stuff.
Was
whatever.
It Bright?
Bright, yes.
Dude.
Yeah.
Look, that movie wasn't great. That movie wasn't great, but I love the idea in the world. That was so cool where he has an orc as a partner,
yeah, right.
I love that kind of stuff. There's so much potential with it. And
was there magic in it?
Yeah, there is, and there's definitely there is. You should check it out. I mean, it's not great, but it definitely has potential, and I enjoyed it for what it was, especially the world. And I love like Warcraft. I enjoyed more than most people because I love these type of things.
Yeah.
But that's the main thing I enjoyed about this movie is, this is the second main thing I enjoyed about this movie is the world and the mythology in the world. And I love how they set up the story and how it ties in. The one thing I was hesitant about, I didn't like how they made the dad is just his legs and then he's just walking around. Like there were funny parts that came from that.
Yeah.
There were, but I don't know. It felt kind of gimmicky to me, but it worked out in the movie. I think it worked out.
Yeah, I was thinking about that myself, but I thought it was funny, but it was an odd thing. It's just legs and pants with like nothing in them, and he's just kind of feeling around with his foot to see.
See, the thing that made it work for me is how they set up earlier how the older brother used to like tap on his feet.
Yeah,
like
right.
That, and I was like, oh, well, you got me there. And then how he would like he would like put his foot on their foot, and like that's how they're connecting.
Yeah,
like that made it work. And stuff like how he's feeling the vibrations and dancing to the music. That was pretty funny. Yeah. So I did think maybe, I don't know. Did you feel like the plot and the journey was fulfilling, other than maybe not the ending, but leaving out the resolution of the movie? Did you think just in general the plot and the journey was fulfilling?
I thought so. There was some. So they got to find what they started the spell. They couldn't finish it. They got to find that gem or whatever. As soon as it like, I wasn't surprised by where they wound up back at the school.
Oh, that was
because I was thinking that I was like,
interesting.
I was like, I bet you it's in that school somewhere. Just watching it in the beginning. Yeah, I just thought that just randomly when I thought there was going to be something important about that school, and I was like, I bet you it's in the school. But once they started going, I was like, okay, well, maybe it's I figured there was going to be something happening at that school. I didn't think I don't know. I knew that was going to be a thing, but the actual journey, I thought it was fine. I liked the little tiny pixies. They like the biker pixies.
Oh, that was funny.
That was very funny. I like that stuff. Like all the little obstacles they encountered. It's the typical stuff you would get in a movie like that. I thought it was fine. The mom situation. Now the thing with the mom and the Octavia Spencer character, the what was her called? What was she called?
I forgot what it was, but I forgot her name. But she was like a lion / dragon / she was like a mixture of a bunch. Oh, and a scorpion. She had a scorpion tail.
Scorpion tail. Yeah, these big old wings and but that was my only kind of issue, if I had any, with this, is that I thought that because it seemed like she was I guess she was that character from thousands of years ago or whatever, and she used to be this menacing, magical monster thing, and now she's running this restaurant bar thing and family restaurant or whatever it was. But yeah, she still remembered. Like I don't know. I didn't know what her deal was. I just didn't understand.
Yeah, I like the idea of it, but it didn't go far enough for me.
Right.
They weren't able to dive deep enough into it for me for me to be interested as much as I should have been.
Right. Yeah. I kind of would have preferred if maybe she had gone with them and like it had been the three of them.
Oh yeah, for the whole time. And she would have been able to inform them on a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
And wait, she didn't know where it was, right? Or did she?
But she did. She said she did. Because she had the map. But she didn't,
but they didn't know that it was just at the high school again.
Yeah, exactly. They thought it was which is a weird. Like I said, it's funny the way that ended up. Like they just went into a big circle. But
yeah, I kind of like that because it's like where something you were looking for was just right in front of you the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is that way. I didn't even think about this, but that's kind of the whole plot of the movie, which is funny because I didn't think how that correlates with what's going on with the human characters.
Exactly, the actual.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the family.
Wow.
Right
Now that I just had an epiphany right now.
right.
That just bumped it up like a 0.5 as far as the score. No, so I mean, let's get down to it. So basically, the movie, the whole plot is that this young boy, he didn't get to grow up with his father.
Right.
The older brother did get the father in childhood, but not enough, nearly enough to like be able to have your father in your life. I think he lost him as a young
He's
boy.
Probably like 8 or 10 or something.
Yeah, something like that. So
the other one was probably like 4 or something. Doesn't remember.
Yeah, so that's the whole plot. They want to get this one more day with their dad, right. and so they make it to the end. They're fighting the dragon made out of like school building parts, and then they start.
Sorry.
And then the way the action plays out, like the dad's gonna disappear soon. Yeah. They defeat the dragon, and then he's like blocked in, and the brother still. Oh well, that
whole thing was.
So him and his brother are up there with the dad,
right?
And then he's the only one who could stop the dragon. I think is what was going on, and he's like, "Look," and so once he realizes that he was able to experience this male role model things with his older brother, and then said, "Look, I already got to experience all these things with you. Like you say bye to dad. You're the one who had him as a father, right. and you didn't get to have those things for your whole life. I got to have them with you." And I'm telling you right now, man, I started tearing up.
Sure. No, I didn't. I don't have a brother, so on that level, I didn't. It didn't hit me in that way, but certainly the idea of, like you said, just him getting to for me, the moment of the older brother, just when he's watching him through the hole and all the debris and stuff.
Yeah. And he says bye to
you just see, you can't hear him, you can't hear the dad, which is the thing I actually liked. I liked that they didn't
me too.
cut to that. You just watch it from the same vantage point that Tom Holland's character had. But you just see him talking for a minute, and he gives him the hug, and then you just seeing him fade away and stuff like that. That was definitely Pixar.
Oh, yeah.
They always do that to us, man.
Oh, I know. They know how to do it, man.
That was great. But yeah, I like that. I like that moment. And I think Jeremy Johns, I watched his review of it, and he hit it right on the head. He's like, any other studio making this, they would have had it so where either they both get to do it or they would have.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I was surprised that the little brother didn't get to.
He didn't get to do it.
I was shocked. I was like, no, they're really doing this?
Right.
But then the fact that they show you those flashbacks of him growing up with his brother makes it feel okay.
Exactly.
Because the character accepted, like, no, I'm good. Like I got my big brother, and it makes it like you don't feel sad necessarily because the only one who really lost out is the big brother because he lost his dad, and he's the one who actually had something taken away from him.
And he got to but it's satisfying.
Oh, and he actually got to see his dad too.
He got to meet him, but also just his whole life he got to be that for his little brother.
That's true too. Yeah.
So. Yeah,
and it all ties in with how the big brother is looked at as a disappointment, and all those type of things that tie into it. And look, I'm a big brother, so this hit me right in the chest right here, man. They know how to get you because they don't they get you from all different angles, like with Up, right? With old, like maybe an older married couple. If you imagine if you were a man in your 60s who already lost his wife and you're watching that movie, you'd be a wreck. And then like same thing with this, like all different types of movies, they get you there. And yeah, so I really like Onward. I wouldn't say it's in my top 3 Pixar movies.
No, not at all.
But I would say it's near the top. It's closer to the top than the bottom for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's just somewhere in the middle. I don't know if I were to work out a 10 to 12. It's probably somewhere in that 10 to. I don't know how many movies have they had.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, we did our top Pixar movies before. a long time ago when Toy Story 4 was coming out, I believe.
We only did 5, I think.
Yeah, we did our top 5, and I think that's fair because the top 10 list, it's like most of the movies are on that list. So so yeah, top 5. But yeah, I have it higher up. I might have it higher up there than you. Like I think it might be in my top 7 or 8, but not my top 5.
Okay, I might have it just somewhere, like I said, 10 to 15 range, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Pixar movies, so there's no knock on that. Like we said, there's only maybe one bad one, so it's not a knock on it at all. All right, well,
Jake will have us rank them soon, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, sure. All right, so let's move on to some homework assignments. So I'm gonna review my last homework, or I'm gonna turn in my last homework assignment, and then I will assign you one. Real quick before I have to decide what I'm gonna assign you. But have you watched Breaking Bad yet?
No. Okay. You know what? I was literally looking at it last night.
We'll talk about it in a second.
Okay.
All right. So Peaky Blinders. So I actually watched Peaky Blinders like the weekend that we recorded that episode. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. So I watched Peaky Blinders, the first 2 episodes of Peaky Blinders for this show, for our show. But like I knew even if I loved it, I wasn't gonna dedicate to just like watching it all right now because I don't like watching too many shows at once. Like I'm watching Mad Men right now and I want to finish it. So I don't want to commit to too many hour-long dramas at once. And so I watched Peaky Blinders first 2 episodes. It's freaking amazing. It is amazing. It is all right. Like I'll just say it. I've been talking about Mad Men recently, and I like Mad Men. I like it more than Mad Men already. I've only watched 2 episodes.
Oh wow, okay.
Peaky Blinders, dude. This is. I mean, look. Maybe the first 2 episodes are just super amazing, and the rest isn't as great. But I'm telling you, like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I should have been watching this show this whole time. Like, it is my new. It is my new Game of Thrones.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I can't wait for you to get into the rest.
Look, I've only watched 2 episodes, and the thing is, like, but like I said, I don't like taking on too much at once, and I'm not gonna stop watching Mad Men and just continue this. But so I'm gonna finish Mad Men, and then this will be the next thing that I start watching thoroughly.
Well, like I said, the good thing about this is they're each only 6 episodes, so I mean, you can bang through this pretty quickly if you want it.
I love period pieces, and not that this is a movie, it's a show, but I love things set in history from certain times, and especially, I mean, I love American history stuff, but I love going to different countries and doing history stuff, and what's the lead actor is just incredible. What's his name? Murphy. Yeah, he's so underrated as an actor.
Yeah,
he has, superstar potential as an actor, and he, not that he's not a superstar talent, but he just never made that A-list jump. But he has that talent.
He's been in some big high-profile things. I mean, he was in Inception. He was in the Dark Knight trilogy. And so,
people
you're right. It's weird
that and people know his face.
28 Days Later,
but he's never been that.
It's not the
bankable leading man.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. I don't even care. He's incredible.
I love him,
and I love the whole setup of the show, the whole structure of the families, and the mob stuff, and then how they put him in this predicament. I feel like so much happened in the first 2 episodes.
Yes,
they put him in this predicament to kill that. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but they put him in this predicament to kill that guy who keeps causing trouble at the bar, and then what happens with that. And I thought he was going to do something, and he does something else, and it made me think like, wow, this guy is supposed to be this hard boss, right? But he's actually got a heart, and he doesn't want to do bad things. That's at least how they present him in the first 2 episodes.
Yes.
So I really like it. And then the drama going on with his sister, and who's dating the other guy, who I don't know if they're in a rival gang or what is. I don't even know what it is. They used to go to school together or whatever. But I love that whole thing. And I don't know who plays his sister, but she's
awesome.
gorgeous.
Yes.
I'll say she's absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
I have a thing for, I don't know if she's British, but if the actress is British, but I have a thing for British women. Like
same here.
I just a British accent. I'm done. That's it. Call it a day. But I can't wait. And like you said, I could handle 2 shows, and maybe I will. But I just, it's weird. I feel like I'm cheating on another show when I'm watching another show. It's weird. And I really am digging Mad Men. I want to finish it, but who knows? Maybe I'll, especially, and when I started watching Peaky Blinders, I wasn't in quarantine. So
yeah, right.
Now I might have some more time, but yes, man, thank you so much. You and Jake have both been telling me to watch this show for a while, and I freaking love it so far.
I know. I since then I had started I watched the first 2 episodes of season 5, and
nice.
Since that episode, I've fallen off that because Westworld has started, so I've been watching that.
I love starting a new show because when there's a lot of seasons, because it's like, yes, I have all this time to enjoy.
Yes, and man, it gets crazy from season 1 on. I will tell you this: if you can, because you only got 4 more episodes, finish out season 1. Because, like I said, you can do it.
I can do that.
You can have that done by this weekend, and then
no, you're right. All right, I'll finish out season 1 at least before our next show.
Yeah, at least just finish that, and then from there you can, however you want to.
We can do a follow
finish
up.
It. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Well, yes, thank you so much. All right. Well, I already spoiled it, but now I am assigning you Breaking Bad episodes 1 and 2.
Excellent.
So I thought of this. So we decided, like, if it's a TV show, you can't assign someone a whole series. That's ridiculous. Because what if they don't like it? Like, that's ridiculous. So a fair thing is first 2 episodes. I say if it's a drama, like an hour-long drama, first 2 episodes. If it's a sitcom, first 4 episodes.
Okay,
think that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I challenge you to the first 2 episodes of Breaking Bad. And the thing with these assignments are fair game. If you don't like it, or it's not for you, you don't have to keep watching it. But for the show, you have to watch the first 2 episodes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can't wait. So
you've been wanting to watch it anyway.
Sorry. I have Aaron Paul is on season 3 of Westworld.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I was watching the latest episode yesterday, and I'm watching it. That's why I said I was thinking about Breaking Bad. I was like,
nice.
I need to go ahead and start
Breaking Bad.
I really like him on Westworld. I think he's really good. So I'm curious to see what his character.
Yeah, and all right. So I'm gonna say a name. You tell me if you recognize it. Hammond Druthers.
I've heard that just referenced before. I don't
Bryan Cranston in How I Met Your Mother, Ted's architect boss.
His boss?
Yeah. Right. And so I was watching season 9 the other night, and so Bryan Cranston just calls him out of nowhere. Like, he comes back for one episode, and was just like, it's so funny how like he's a dick to him, to Ted the whole time, and then Ted becomes the boss. Yeah. So it reminded me of Breaking Bad. I was like, you know what? I'm challenging Keith to Breaking Bad finally. And just like I finally watched Peaky Blinders, I hope you like it. I hope you at least like it enough to continue the series, and I think you will.
I think I will. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, really now you have to. No excuses. All right, cool. Well, let's move on to our last segment. Turn the page.
Really quick. Well,
go ahead.
Let me ask you. What do you think? Now, what did you think of the big reveal? It was kind of a slow, kind of drawn out reveal in Mad Men that Don Draper is not Don Draper.
Yeah. Okay. That's we were just talking about Mad Men. So yeah, fair question.
Spoiler alert, by the way. I just spoiled that for
yeah. It was
because was it season 2? They kind of
yeah. They get into it pretty early.
Yeah. They slowly reveal it.
It's like interesting, man. It's so weird. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I didn't think the show was gonna get into all that. It's not, because you hear about Mad Men and you think it's just gonna be all about them at the ad agency and getting drunk and having sex with women, and it's not just that. There's this whole like weird like backstory that they created. And I don't know. Is
so
Mad Men
bizarre.
like an original series? It's not based on anything, I don't think.
I
don't
don't
know. I
know.
wouldn't
I don't know.
know.
I wonder if there's a guy that did this.
Or is it a novel or something? I don't know. But
yeah.
But it's so unique, and I do. It's so weird. Whatever, you know, the Don Draper or Dick Whitman character.
Yeah.
I still just idolize him the way he is, because whoever his real persona is, like the way he acts at work, I just love the way he acts. He's like no bullshit, like straight to the point,
no
like
nonsense guy. Yeah,
no messing around. And I'm like, damn, if I'm ever like the boss of a place, that's how I want to be. It's like, look, it's not like everything has to be so serious all the time, but it's like, look, stop playing around. Like, let's get down to business. And he's ethical at work. Like, look, he obviously is shady in his life. Like,
outside of work, he's terrible. He's a terrible person.
He cheats on his wife. Yeah. He has his whole backstory, and he goes on like random binges. He goes out of town and just bangs women, like whatever. Right. But like at work, he's just like the perfect, like great example setter. Like and so like I admire the character when he's at work. That's all. Right. And the show's about characters at work. So, but no, I really like it. I'm curious to see where it goes, though. It's like, here, look, you revealed it. Now, where are you going with it? That's my question.
Yeah, it's.
And I'm on season 3, so I don't know if you know. You probably know more than me, maybe, but I'm at a point where his wife knows that he cheated on her, and he's trying to get her back. And she's pregnant now again. She's pregnant again.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And now he was just out of town, like he was in LA or something, and he was hanging out with like this hippie girl. And then he comes back to town, and he's like, "Look, baby, I want you back." Right. And then she's pregnant. Right. So that's where I'm basically at. So I don't. Okay. There's so much more to go, though. There's 9 seasons, so I got a lot more to go.
Yeah, I fell out after. I was kind of in and out of season 4. I kind of fell out after 5. So. I actually don't even know how it actually ends, so maybe I'll pick it back up, and I'm curious to see how that show ends.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm enjoying it. We'll probably do a catch up, once I watch a little bit more. Awesome. Well, let's go to our literature suggestion segment called Turn the Page, where we suggest anything in literature. It can be novels, it can be books, it can be poems, it could be comics, it can be memoirs, it can be autobiography books, it could be a cookbook if you really wanted to. Yes. So Keith, what do you got today for Turn the Page?
All right, so mine is another one I need to finish. I haven't finished it myself, but it's a book. It's a detective novel, crime story called The Cuckoo's Calling. All right, here. And hold on, let me get you can see Robert Galbraith is the author. That is actually a pseudonym. You know what that is. So this was written by an author named Robert Galbraith. Galbraith. That's actually pseudonym. This is actually J.K. Rowling.
Really?
Yes. Yes, she wrote this.
Serious?
She came up with this character, this detective, British, obviously, detective named Cormoran Strike. Which is a very interesting name. But yeah, so she had this detective series, this novel she had always wanted to write. She always wanted to get into. I think it actually wasn't revealed when this book first came out. Nobody knew it was her.
Wow.
She wrote it under the pseudonym. There was a writing analyst that kind of got a hold of it. Somebody that actually knew her, and was like, this writing style. This sounds a lot like J.K. Rowling. Her publicist denied it, of course, and then like someone, a friend of hers, I think, actually leaked it, like on Twitter or something.
Wow.
And then it came, and she finally admitted, yeah, this is me. And
so she released it after the Harry Potter books, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, well after. This came out
because she didn't want. Because if somebody heard, J.K. Rowling
2014
doing a new detective book, everyone would buy it, and they'd be all over it. She kind of wanted to see what she could do without those expectations, right?
That's exactly what it was.
That's
I
cool.
think
I
that's what it
like
was.
that.
She wanted it to be judged, get like a fair.
Oh yeah, because people would
on
critique it, thinking, "Oh, it's J.K. Rowling." Yeah,
exactly.
How is it?
So far, it's pretty good. It was getting good. Here's the thing: before it was revealed that it was J.K. Rowling, it was getting good reviews. But it just wasn't selling.
Yeah.
Once it came out that it was her, it skyrocketed to number 1 on the national bestsellers.
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
But yeah, it's really good so far. It's just definitely very different than what you would read in a Harry Potter book.
I mean, look, she has enough money for 7 lifetimes, but
exactly.
I like that she didn't care to earn money on that book. She really wanted the true reception, and she kind of just maybe wanted to test herself. Like, do I still have it? With fair judgment.
Yeah. I think there's 3 books in this particular series with this character. It's kind of like with James Patterson and his Alex Cross series, or Jack Ryan. Or this is her Jack Ryan. This character apparently.
Really?
Yeah, she's
what
got at least
time
3.
era is it set in?
It's modern. This one's about a supermodel who is thrown or falls, whatever, from the balcony of her house. And the detective is just called in to investigate. And it's kind of like that movie, The Nice Guys.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of set up kind of like similar fashion. And
nice.
he's getting into that world.
That sounds really interesting. Like I didn't know where it was going when you first showed it, and I was like, let's hear what this is about. And then the whole J.K. Rowling background, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I obviously she's a great writer. She created one of the, there's an argument to be made, the most famous novel series of all time. It's probably true. I mean, there's only few that can challenge it.
She's definitely the richest.
Oh,
she's probably the richest author ever.
And I love that she has control over the Harry Potter property, no matter she's so smart. So many people sign off the rights to their properties and then they lose them.
Right.
She has full control. They can't do anything in the movies without her consent.
Exactly.
What a boss.
I love her, man. I'm a big fan of her.
So cool.
Yeah.
And I actually follow her on Twitter, and she's awesome. She's so cool. Awesome. Well, I love the uniqueness that we're bringing today. Last time we did both Star Wars books, so this is and look, nothing wrong with that. I'm sure we will mention more on this show. But mine is a novel that I read in school last semester. Actually, the whole class is about this one novel, and it's called Don Quixote.
And I love Don Quixote.
Look, it's so weird. Look, I'm a English major. I love literature, but I never read Don Quixote.
Yes.
And I signed up for my this is like the class you take your junior year as an English major to move on to your senior seminar.
Okay.
And it's so it was a class, and the whole class is just about this one novel.
Yeah. So okay, cool.
For both parts, but now they combined it. It's one novel.
Yeah.
So it's by Miguel de Cervantes, and so I start this class, and the teacher's she's a total fangirl of the book. Obviously, she's just over the moon about it, and she's so excited to talk about it. And I'm and she said this is arguably the greatest novel of all time. It created the novel genre, all this stuff, and I'm yeah, right. No, it's not that. I'm it can't be that great. So it's originally published in 1605. So basically, I learned a lot about the historical context of it all, and basically, what a novel didn't exist really before this book. So it kind of did create the novel genre.
It was the blueprint,
But whether it's the best ever is subjective. It depends on your taste. But this novel is freaking amazing. You've read it?
I read this in I'm trying to remember what grade I was in. I think maybe 10th grade.
Yeah. Dude, it is so good, and the characters are amazing.
Yeah.
It's I forget his squire's name. Sancho Panza. Sancho Panza is amazing, and it's so the character is silly and he goes on these journeys. He thinks he's a
such a
knight.
weirdo. Yeah, he's
So
such a
basically, like,
maniac.
it's this old man. The concept is it's this old man living in Spain, I believe, and he is obsessed with novel or literature about knights and in saving princesses and fighting dragons and giants and all this stuff. And he reads them so much that he gets obsessed and he thinks that it's all real. And he believes that he is meant to be a great knight and go on this journey.
Yes.
So then he goes on these journeys and he takes a local farm man with him, and who ends up being his squire. And then the Sancho Panza character ends up becoming like this great character who at first is kind of bullied by Don Quixote, and then just kind of then he becomes like the logical one.
Right.
And it's
he's
like
kind of I was gonna say he's kind of the point of view character.
Oh yeah, for us, it's like a human, like not a human. Well, they're both human, but like a sane human.
Right.
On the journey with this madman. But then Sancho Panza kind of starts going mad himself because he starts buying into all this. Not that he believes that it's true, but it all starts going to his head. Like, because they become famous because people believe that the journeys that they go on are real. So then he's now this famous squire, and it just snowballs into this whole big thing. And it is such a great story. I never thought I would be interested in something like this, and I completely love it. If you're not a reader, check out the audiobook. I did the audiobook while I read it. The audiobook is incredible with the music and the voices. Oh my goodness. The voices in the audiobook bring such life to the characters.
I might have to do that.
Dude, you should. I highly recommend it. It's so good. And then at the end of this class, we watched a movie. So the teacher kept teasing that we're going to watch a movie. And I was like, I never heard of a movie based on this. And I don't know how I never heard this movie. There's a movie.
The Terry Gilliam one?
Yes. The Man Who Killed Don Quixote with Adam Driver. Have you seen it?
I have not. I know that Terry Gilliam has been trying to make it for like 30 years or something like that. And I think Johnny Depp was involved at one point.
Yeah. So look, it's not a great movie, but if you like Don Quixote, it is just so enjoyable to watch. It's Adam Driver,
right?
It's young Adam Driver.
Hearing that,
and he plays. It's not a straight adaptation. It's like a young director, like a hotshot, arrogant douchebag director who used to be this independent artsy director. He's now making the live action Don Quixote movie, and then he's in Spain making it, and then he gets caught up with the law and he's running from the cops, and then he goes on a Don Quixote-esque journey where he starts believing all this stuff. And dude, I highly recommend the book and the audiobook first of all, but then I highly recommend the movie as well. So that is my turn the page recommendation this week, is Don Quixote.
I think there is a documentary. I watched a documentary about it.
About the movie?
All the crazy problems that he had over the years trying to make it.
Dude, it took like so long to make.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Most of those guys, so Terry Gilliam's an odd dude himself, but
he's the guy from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, right?
Yeah. He's one of those guys. So so I'm glad that Adam Driver. I didn't know you got Adam Driver in that, because I was still thinking it was Johnny
Really?
Depp.
Oh, you didn't know? Yeah, it's Adam Driver now, because actors fell out. Like, it went on for so long that that it all fell out, and then there's quite a few recognizable names in there actually. Dude, it's on I don't know if it's free or not, but it's on Amazon Video.
Okay.
But you should check it out, man. I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, that's going to do it for Bartley and Barnes, the first telecommuting episode, the first virtual StreamYard episode. Thank everybody for watching. Thank you for joining me, Keith, as always.
Of course.
Bartley and Barnes. Next episode, we will definitely, we'll have a cool main topic. We will definitely talk about Peaky Blinders. I'll give you an update. We'll talk about maybe a little bit of Mad Men. We'll also talk about Breaking Bad. So tune in 2 weeks and find us.
We'll see if they do that NBA horse competition that they're talking about.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, we'll see how our whatever sports segment we can draw up. But also, hey, fantasy football is coming up, man. We can start talking about some NFL stuff too. So that'll be fun. All right, well, for Keith Barnes, for Jacob Bartley, this is Bartley and Bars, episode 13. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you in a couple weeks.